you might bring back something, or something might be attached to you.
That person, that being, that figure, and ask for protection.
That's the invitation.
Yes.
You've just invited something very dark to consume you. But
It looks great.
I'm glad that I'm finally here, and that you're finally here.
Yes.
I didn't know what that side was gonna look like, but it looks pretty good.
Thanks.
So so beyond the story was something. It was an afterthought, but I figured, since you're coming on and you come with a set of skills,
Right.
it didn't make sense to just have you on Ghostly Tales interviews. It didn't fit for me. I'm like, no, we need something special. So whenever you and I come on, it's beyond the story. And the reason why I use the word story, because tales, people's stories, people's encounters.
Right.
Well, this is beyond it.
Right.
We're talking about the metaphysical, healing, using not potions, but herbs, herbs and stuff. And that's what I think this episode should be about. That is introducing the audience on what it is that you can enlighten us on, what we can do as people that don't know anything about the metaphysical, how it can help us energetically.
Right.
When we as paranormal investigators, enthusiasts that love to go frolicking through haunted houses and graveyards, you might bring back something, or something might be attached to you. So I think that you educating us on how to protect ourselves before we go and after we come home. And very important to highlight is, when we come home, we don't want to invite it in.
Right.
And if you don't know that you have a possibility of an attachment, how do you know what you're inviting in? So I recommend that all paranormal enthusiasts know the rules of the game. If you're going out there and you're looking around in the dark, you just might find something. And even if you don't see it, it sees you.
Right.
What do you say to that?
So I too call them stories, and then I catch myself and say, oh, well, it's not a story because I didn't make it up. And I know that the people who are sharing their experiences with you are also not making it up. So I like that we call it a story, but we all know that what I say, I catch myself, is that it's an experience. With that being said, before I engage in any type of energy work, I always take measures to protect my own energy and protect the energy of the client that I'm working on. So I do that through meditation and prayer. And that, when I say prayer, it doesn't necessarily have to be to it can be universal to whatever your belief system is, whether that's spirituality or religion, whether it's Buddhist or Christian, or it's just there's different levels of energy, right? So I ask to receive information or have contact with the highest energetic, highest vibrational spirits, entities, or beings. So that kind of leaves it open for whoever is coming through, whether it's an angel or an ancestor, or, someone that you don't know. Usually it's somebody that we know, or it's somebody with a purpose. But holding space for that high energy, high energetic, high vibrational, and then just declaring anything of low vibration or low energy is unwelcome and unwanted. And then my final statement is, I only work with a light. And so if you've heard the term light worker before, it's a clear definition right there what that means. It's I work with high vibrational, high energetic energies from the light rather than lower from the dark.
Yes. And a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people say, well, how do you know when you're praying, aside from Catholicism and Christianity, when you're praying, when they say, well, I'm a spiritual person, not of any denomination, they go, well, how do you know you're praying to what it is you're praying to? Well, you can, like a child, you can sense density, you can sense negativity, you can sense evil. So when something appears to you, let's say you're in deep meditation and you get a download, you'll know if it's a good download or if it's a bad download. It's just, it's automatic. The body is designed for that.
Right.
So a lot of people that stay away from this and shame people, like you and me, I don't know. I mean, some people tell me, oh, you're into that woo-woo stuff. I'm like, well, I like the name woo-woo. I think it's cute. But I know they're using it as derogatory.
Right.
I say, no, I think that, as a responsible human being with a soul, a divine soul,
Yes.
if I'm going to do what I'm going to do, it's no different than someone in Catholicism praying to the Saint Bernard and Saint Raphael. I mean, you're praying to a deity that no longer is. You're praying to the dead.
Right.
So I'm not praying to the dead. I'm praying to a live divine creator.
Right.
Light.
Yes.
Angelic. Something that's still alive. So it's different. So a lot of people get tied up in those details, and a lot of people misunderstand what it is to meditate. Like, some people say, oh, yoga, oh, that's evil because of the positions, and it's like, oh my goodness, everything is evil. Everything.
Right.
That's just, eating cereal at 6 o'clock in the morning is evil.
Yes.
So people just need to understand. If they don't understand it, don't criticize it. I've learned so much by just keeping my mouth shut and exploring
Yes.
it for myself.
Yes.
It's like, even in my 20s, I would walk into bookstores and I would be so entranced by the new age music that was playing and the incense, and I'm like, ooh, is this supposed to be bad? But I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel the negativity.
Right.
I would find books on reading. I'm like, how can this be negative?
Right.
It's talking about exploring the light, looking within, versus, no, your salvation is without.
Right.
You got to seek out for your salvation.
Yes.
It's like, no. It's like, I got to look in through my salvation. So the misunderstanding that prayer, meditation is a bad thing, could be a bad thing. It depends on your intention.
Correct. If I may interject there. So I feel like, so what you're saying is look within when you want to discern whether you're having an experience or you're trying to invoke something from the light or something from the dark. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, you said that the body is designed to know, and it's true. Is if you quiet your mind and allow yourself to feel, you will feel a certain way. Your body will react. So if you get chills on your arms, usually that's a sign that that you're connecting with something it's truth, that you've connected with truth, that there may be a spirit present. If you feel coldness, usually is a sign of something present. It doesn't necessarily have to be dark, right? But there's other little signs and cues that your body will give, and it's just an overall feeling. So if we all have a sense of intuition, whether we decide to listen to it or not. But if your intuition is telling you that you don't need to be alarmed, then go with that. Your body is telling you something. And then if you're feeling fear, that's a negative emotion. So listen to that. So it's kind of those natural cues.
Okay. So when people have bad dreams, what do they call them? Those paralyzing ones?
Sleep paralysis.
Yes, sleep paralysis. What do you think that is?
Sleep paralysis. So so I feel that when we sleep, our body, we have the chance to, our soul can leave our body and travel, an astral travel. And then we're connected with a cord, right? So one theory that I've heard is that the sleep paralysis is caused by you consciously waking in this dimension while you're not yet actually in your body, when your soul is not actually in your body. Does that make sense? Have you heard that too?
Yes.
Or what do you think?
I've had sleep paralysis, not as much, but I know, I forgot, God, there's this guy who, he's on YouTube. I forget his name. Darius. Do you know who he is? He's beautiful. This beautiful man, just curly hair, just intelligent. And he says since he was young, he's had sleep paralysis that led him to near-death experiences, that led him to being able to leave his body. But he has to go through the stages of dying, sleep paralysis, and to the brink of death.
Okay.
In order for him to detach. His silver cord is still attached.
Right.
But he says it's a process, and it can be very frightening in the beginning. But he goes, I've been doing it for so long that I'm able to go out of body, talk to my guides, and explore life, go visit people, go do everything. But there is a negativity to sleep paralysis, because when we're in sleep paralysis, we're now in the astral, and our silver cord is attached to the astral. Well, we're in the 3D, right?
Correct.
So what's the next one? 4D.
Right.
The lower 4D, where a lot of trapped spirits are, lost, confused spirits, and a lot of ugly ones too. So it's not a good place to hang out. So you got to learn to rise above.
Right.
So, but sleep paralysis can also be very negative if you don't know what's happening. You can have something coming in from that realm and attach itself to you, attack you while you're asleep, and absorb your energy, your life energy. So are you saying that when we have sleep paralysis, that we are astral traveling, and that do we first go to the 4D, and then there's a 5D, right? That's where we're emerging to? Yes. Yeah, there's different, because here in the 4D, we're in 3D, we're alive, we're awake, we can touch, and our spirit is intact with our biological. But when we sleep, we're in a hibernation state. I want to use another word, but never mind.
Yeah.
It's not coming
no
out.
worries.
It's not coming out. So now the body is asleep. The functions of the body are where they're supposed to be, but the mind, remember, consciousness is alive always. So when the mind is awake and the body is asleep, well, what does energy want to do? It wants to move forward. It wants to keep going.
So it never stops.
It never stops. So it detaches himself. But the only place that energy and our energy can exist in that plane is the realms beyond ours. This one, the physical realm. Right. Because it's no longer in a physical body.
Got it.
When it detaches, when it releases away from the physical, but it's still attached to a silver cord, our silver cord, because it is still a living, breathing. It still pertains to this body. The energy, the code to that energy is still attached. Right. But when someone passes on and dies, that code detaches, and then you're able to move forward, and you can leave the physical behind. So that's my understanding.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think, so when you talk about the mind wanting to leave, I think, okay, so if the body is asleep and you said the processes are still going on, so basically our automatic nervous system, which controls all of our functions, like breathing, things that we don't have to think about, but we have to do in order to survive, they're still operating. So that's our automatic nervous system.
Very low levels, very low levels.
Taking just a small bit of energy because we're resting. We're in a restive state.
It's an arrested state.
So, but that also includes our brain function. So there's still brain activity going on.
Yes, and you're still breathing, so you're not losing any
heartbeat, circulation,
oxygen or anything like that.
All that stuff. So then it's our higher consciousness, or we're able to access our higher consciousness, and that's what's traveling through these other realms.
Correct.
That's fascinating.
It's fascinating.
I love it.
I love it. I love talking about sleep paralysis. I don't think I can get enough of it. But everyone has a negative or positive. If you know how to control it, it's positive. If you don't know how to control it, or even expecting it, it's negative.
Sleep paralysis. I've had dreams where I can't run or I can't scream. So like I'm trying to get away from a bad guy, bad person.
Yeah.
And I'm about to run as fast as I can, and then my legs are just like, oh, not today, you know? Oh. Or I have to scream because I have to alert somebody that some danger is going on, and I'll open my mouth and scream, but nothing will come out. Have you had those dreams?
No, I have not had those dreams. But when I do dream, where I'm in another reality, and I believe I'm in another reality, a lot of times the tell was I was barefooted, and I was like, where are my shoes? I could not find my shoes, and I'm like, I can't be walking on the street without my shoes. So then I spoke to my friend, the psychic, and she goes, that's what they call a tell. That's your tell, saying that you're out of body, but you're actually living in your other energy, in your other reality, in your body. But she goes, for some reason you show up without
barefoot
shoes. I'm not going. She goes because that is the most uncomfortable thing for you to do. Show up without shoes. It's like, I'm not invited. I wasn't prepared to be here. I'm sorry, I forgot my shoes. You know, for someone it could be, for some other person it could be their clothes.
Yes,
they can show up naked, or But that was my tell.
Interesting. That's really interesting. So along sleep lines, if we're talking about that, I was a sleepwalker and a sleep talker when I was younger, and that was pretty vivid. Not a recollection, but like things that I did while I was sleepwalking, and embarrassing the next morning when I would come downstairs and my family would be laughing at me, telling me what I did the night before. And you know, I'm a child, like before adolescent age, so it's not like I was drinking or anything. So yeah. So have you had any experiences with that, or what do you make of that?
You know, I've never sleptwalked, but oh my God, if I did, oh my God, I need to have bars in this house, because you don't want to end up outside. All this crazy stuff happening. There's this girl on YouTube who's made a career and actually bought a house, recording herself sleepwalking.
Are you kidding me?
And she goes outside, she's running around, she's talking to someone, she's doing stuff. She says the weirdest things.
Yeah.
But she has a really serious case. And her husband sometimes sleeps on the couch just to watch her. Yeah. But I've never had any of those experiences, and I don't think I want to. But have you ever recorded yourself? Do you still do it today?
No, I don't do it. I grew out of it as I became an adult. The only thing that I have done is like, and this is not very cool to share, but like screamed, like woke up and screamed at the top of my lungs so loud that it actually hurts my throat. And I'm hoarse the next day. Oh wow! And then I remember waking up once and like ducking underneath something because I thought something was coming. But I do have a couple sleepwalking experiences from as a child, if you'd like to hear.
Yes, okay. Please grace us with this.
So I used to dress myself, and so I remember, you know, I'm going to bed as a 9-year-old girl. I'm probably wearing like a night shirt or like a nightgown, you know, and that's it. It's hot in Southern California. So I'd wake up, and over that, I would put my dance jacket on, which is just like uh, like kind of like a Letterman's jacket.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
Like a satin, whatever.
Like a high school letter.
Kind of.
Okay.
It was younger. I was younger than that, but similar. And then like dress shoes. And my mom would come in and be like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going, bowling or something weird." One time she said she came in, and this is weird. I was just sitting up on the bed, just staring at the TV, which was on, but the lights are on, but nobody was home. And then one time we were traveling, and I got out of the hotel room. I was about 9 or 10 years old at this time, and I was outside of the hotel room. I left without my parents knowing, and I woke up in the hallway, and I was frazzled because I'm like in a shirt and panties, and I didn't know where the door was, where my family was, and so I was just like knocking on doors, and so that was kind of scary. And then the worst one was, we were at my house, and we used to have one of those big alarms on our house, like a home security system. So I activated that by leaving the garage door, by leaving the door that led to the garage. And then I opened up the garage, and I was outside of the house, outside of the garage. And that's when I woke up, which I didn't wake up from that very loud sound, but, for some reason I woke up, I turned around, looked back towards the house, and my dad was there with a gun, and I didn't know that he even had a gun. So that was really scary.
Yeah.
But those were kind of some of the fun stories.
Yeah, fun. Sounds exciting.
Yes. But, I don't know. Does that mean that if you have those type of experiences that you're more prone to have other experiences as an adult? It did. Like, that's what it led to. So I'm not sure.
I have a thought.
Okay.
Okay. So sleepwalking. You said you can't remember anything.
Nothing.
Okay. So do you think there's something driving the vehicle, the body?
Oh my gosh.
That's why you just don't remember anything, because your mind you're literally asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But someone, I'm not going to say it, that's what's happening, but could it be that something else is now controlling that vehicle and just kind of like wanting to experience what it is to be in this realm? And, because I never thought of that. It just came, I swear to God, it just came to me
Right.
when you were saying that. It just popped into my head.
I'd like to think no.
Well, yeah.
Just as like how we dream, you don't always remember your dreams. I think you can become better at remembering them by writing them down, and there's other ways that you can do it. But I like to think that it's a similar experience, that wherever we go in the dream realm, we are more apt to not remember our experiences, and that's the same thing that's happening during a sleepwalking experience. Now, that's me protecting myself right now from all those past experiences before I actually give it some thought and research.
Wow.
But I think I'd like to think that you have to consent, if not totally consciously. There has to be some level of consent with that going on, and it's just hard to fathom that.
Do you think they really care about consent?
So I don't think that they really care about consent. I think that and you see how I chose my words, consciously. So
Consciously, yes.
if we are not consciously, by protecting our energy and by taking measures to make sure that we are not consenting, then by default we are consenting. Do you see what I'm saying? So if we're in the energy of being in negative emotions, we're more susceptible, we're more what is the word? We're more vulnerable to attracting like energy. So like attracts like, right? So if you're negative, depressed, the list of negative emotions, and not to say that people who have those emotions, because we all have those emotions, are bad or are going to attract something, but you are more susceptible and more vulnerable too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary though. Okay, so
Yeah, so that's kind of what I those are my thoughts on negativity, negative energy. I deal with what I do in my work is I work with the light, like I said, and I feel like we all have different spiritual gifts, and people who are psychics or mediums or have spiritual gifts. We all play in a different arena where some see the future. I don't see the future. Um, or I have not yet. So I feel like I tend to be more with the past and with healing. So a person would come to me if they are struggling maybe with something that's repetitive, like a repetitive motion or a cycle, emotion or a cycle that they can't get out of. And they want to get some clarity or gain some higher knowledge by accessing their higher self, or looking into their past and contacting an ancestor who is passed, or a friend or a loved one who can shed light on a situation, or if it's something within the body that an injury or a experience gets trapped in our body. I'm able to energetically feel that and then revisit it at a higher level and then release that, so that we have a understanding from a higher awareness.
when did you discover that there was something different about you?
That's a loaded question. Just kidding.
We'll just simplify it.
So I guess when I look back throughout my childhood, well, I did have an imaginary friend who I don't even remember because I was so young.
That's right. Yeah.
His or her name was Toto.
Toto.
I mean, I did like The Wizard of Oz, but I don't know. That was my imaginary friend's name, and I guess my parents, they didn't like shun it or tell me to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that they encouraged it, but they fostered it. They tolerated it. So that was something that was a little bit different. And then I've always had the skill of writing, and I've always loved to write like short stories and poetry. And when I was younger, I felt like when I would write something that I would feel like it would come from a different place. That was coming from someone else, that maybe I was being inspired by another consciousness, even at a young age. And so, and if you think about it, inspiration, the root of the word means to be in spirit, right? So we are inspired when we are in spirit. So that's something that I think is interesting. But my specific journey with my gifts, that I realized that I had them, was in 2019. I teach yoga, and through yoga I learned about Reiki. So I became Reiki attuned, I'm second level Reiki attuned. I believe you are as well.
Reiki 1.
Okay. Well, crazy stuff starts happening.
Yes.
Yes. So it was while I was working on a client in 2019, started working on this woman. She was on my table. If you're unfamiliar with Reiki, it's a energy healing practice that's non-touch. It is ancestral, passed down through family traditions. It's through the Japanese lineage. So there is some variances to everyone's tradition that they hold. How I do my Reiki is I have the person lay on a massage table. I'm behind their head. I start in a meditation. And sometimes I'll do that prayer out loud or in my head. Were you going to add something? No? Okay. And then I do a series of hand positions. So over the eyes, sides of the head, back of the head, crown of the head, through all the chakras, which one day we'll get into all of that too.
Yeah, the chakras.
So anyways, I was working on a client and I was just meditating. And as I'm just like trying to let everything go, I start running a list in my head of the things I have to do that day. I got to take out the trash. I have to pick up my daughter at school. I've got to go to the grocery store. And then I had all these other thoughts. And I was like, I discerned like, whoa, that's not my thought. So I wrote it down and then I shared it with the person, and it meant something very specific to them, but it had no meaning to me. And then I was like, oh, wow, I think I just accessed, I was just given that information,
Wow.
you know? And so since then, I've learned to channel it, question it, strengthen it, and I still am. So,
Wow.
yes.
That is interesting. I'm not clairvoyant. I'm not a medium. I think what would I call myself? I think I'm an experiencer of an astral body experiencer, and I can't control it. It just happened, and it was dangerous, and I got help for it.
You did.
Yeah, I no longer astral travel the way I used to, nor do I see things walking into my bedroom, or reptilians hanging from, just kind of like hanging out by my ceiling downstairs in my bedroom. Yeah, it was very frightening. I didn't understand what was going on, but that audio. But what do you call it? Audio clairant? What do you call it?
Clair audience, clair.
I can never say that word, but yes, I've had. I can hear things. I can hear things calling me sometimes,
like out loud or in your head, or
like
out
literally,
loud?
like this is my ear right here. Hey, or my mom.
Would scare me.
Yeah. Or my mother calling me Maria Elena in Spanish. That's my name. Like, and it wasn't just once. She called me twice, and there was nobody home. No one home.
How did you feel? How did your body feel when you heard that?
It natural. I didn't, because I didn't register. I was getting ready. Didn't register. Heard my name. In Spanish you call out Mande. Like, you know, it's just
hey.
It's Mande. It's like, you know, give me your order. What do you know? I heard you. What do you want? It's like, it's another way of respectful saying, what do you want?
You responded.
Yeah,
that's how you responded.
Silence again. You know, and I went looking around, nothing there, and then I heard again. This time it's coming from outside, and it's my mother.
The same instance?
I did a rotation around the house.
Okay.
I landed in the dining area, and then I heard it again in the backyard. And I went to the backyard. Nothing. And that's when that feeling hit me. Being in the backyard, I went, something's wrong. And I just went in the house, got my stuff, and I left. Because I don't know what it was, but it was not my mother. We had a new business, and that's where everybody was. You know, my older sister helped them, so they were in LA, and that's where they were. I was a student for graphic design, and I was on my way to school, getting ready. I was by myself. Whew.
So, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm a little confused.
Go ahead.
you had that experience. You woke up. You heard your mom's voice. You circled the house. You heard it again.
Well, I didn't wake up. I was in my bathroom getting ready to go to school.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And then I heard her voice.
Okay.
And I instinctively just said Monday, like, oh, you're here. You know? I didn't feel anything. It wasn't until the second call, when I was outside, that I heard it.
You were looking for
her
outside. A vision of her. Had she passed?
No, this is in the 90s.
Okay.
This is. I should have started with it. I didn't want to get into too much detail because I might use this on a live.
Okay. Well, you may have to tell the story again because I'm like, I need to know.
So in 1994.
Okay.
Or 95.
No, I thought, shoot. I was like, I'm scared.
Yeah. Why are you scared?
I'm not scared, but.
No. Yeah. So it happened.
Not chilled.
It's hot in here.
Yeah.
So in 94, it happened.
Okay.
Everyone was still alive and healthy, and nobody was home. Heard my mother's voice twice. Went to the backyard. That is when the first time I went around, I didn't feel anything. Okay, something's weird. Then I heard it again, and I went. So in other words, it was luring me out.
Oh, okay.
And when I went to the backyard, where a friend of mine, who used to stay back there because we had a room back there. He would come in knocking in the night. He's like, Nonny, open the door. There's something back here. So based on that, that's what I think when I went to the backyard. I was at the edge of the porch, and then there's grass.
Yeah.
I was at that edge, and then I just went. I felt it just come through my body.
You felt it was not a good feeling.
Yeah, like get out, get away, go. And I just went, took a deep breath, walked as fast as that fast walk.
Oh yeah.
And you go in and you get your stuff. Got my keys, and I left. I couldn't get out fast enough.
Yeah.
And I must have blocked it because I came home. I don't remember coming home feeling afraid. I do remember telling the whole world what happened to me.
Uh-huh.
So, and since then, I've never heard my mother's voice calling me.
Uh-huh.
I've heard my dad's voice calling me. I was asleep here in this house.
And now, is this at a different location?
Yeah, this was 1990s.
Okay.
This is on
That's right. You said that.
Huntington Park. So, fast forward to now, to 2016, 2017. I'm asleep, still in the Navy. I'm tired. It's a Sunday. I'm taking a nap. I'm in my room. And it's fast asleep. And then it sounded like loud as thunder. I heard my dad's voice calling me with such urgency. And it's always my name, Maria Elena. And it just sounded like a huge clap in my head. And it just startled me, and I woke up. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is it that my parents are calling me?
Right.
You know? And my mom was still alive at this time. So it wasn't nothing to do with that. It's just why? It's the hay in my ear, my mother's voice, my dad yelling, like urgent, get up, urgent, like almost like something's about to happen. You need to get up. And then just other things. Sometimes I just hear things and I just ignore them. I have to.
Yes.
I have to. If I don't ignore them, I think I'll drive myself crazy or just cause paranoia, unnecessary paranoia. And I don't want that.
So going back to, two questions. So in 2016, was your dad still alive?
Everyone is alive.
Okay.
Everyone is alive.
Okay. So that's for me. What I have found with my gifts is that I receive information. However you want to say it, download information. I communicate. I receive from loved ones, usually who have passed on, people or animals, right? So whenever I receive something and then I ask the person, is your uncle still alive? And they say yes. And I'm like, okay, well then he's not giving me the information, so I have to piece it together. I have to figure it out, right? So for example, I was working on this man, and he was telling me, I saw these two little dogs, right? So I see these little dogs, and I see how much he loves the dogs, and the dogs loved him, and they're running to him. And so I asked him if the dogs have passed away, because I also channel pets, fun fact. And he said, no, they haven't. And I was like, okay, well then, what am I supposed to do with that? So where is that coming from? So I've confirmed that this is in your life, but it's not from them. So is there somebody who has passed who would want to show these dogs? And he said, yes. And so I kind of pieced the things together. But that's interesting. Like you said, that, you felt like it obviously wasn't your mom or your dad who was calling. So then what was it that was calling?
Do you think it was a mimic?
Define that.
Okay. Well, I guess a mimic would be like, you only find them in I think the Appalachians or in the deep forest. It's like a Wendigo, where they mimic someone's voice to lure you in. But we're nowhere. I'm in like Temecula, California.
Yeah.
There is no. The only forest here is in the towards the entrance. So I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Is it something connected to me, based on my first encounter, which was the flying saucer. And remember I told you, ever since I had that first encounter with a UFO, my whole life changed.
Right.
I was open to paranormal. As a kid, I didn't know I was open to the paranormal.
Yes.
It just happened, and then it happened again, and then it happened, and it happened again, and here I am,
Uh-huh.
20 years later. No,
Right.
yeah,
Yep.
20 years later.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't know what it could be, and
Does it frighten you? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
no, you're not interrupting me.
Oh, does it frighten you?
Um, you know what? I've taught myself to be numb. Because there's one thing I do know for a fact is that fear is a snack for darkness, for
Yes.
whatever's out there. It's like that's why they scare you. It's why they rattle you. It's why they, they'll make things go bump in the night because they want that jolt of fear
Right.
from you. So I'm feeding them. So I don't know how I did it, but I go numb. I don't, when I first hear something, you know how normally you get a sharp pain that goes through your body, like instinct, something's
Yes.
wrong.
Yes.
I don't feel that. I go numb, and I'm like, I will not feed you. I will not feed you. So your answer to that is yes and no. I'm aware of it, so I stop it,
Yes.
and I avoid the spike of fear.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, that does make sense. And going back to your earlier point when you said that you're like, okay, so if it's a mimic, what are they luring me to? It's the attention of the mind. It could just be the attention of the mind space. They are luring you to gain your attention, to gain your energy, right? And so, I mean, that like giving fear or our thought, because they're on a different dimension that is not physical, right? So we're here in this physical dimension. They're non-physical. What do they have? They have thoughts. That's how they communicate with us. When they are projecting in the physical realm, when we actually hear them audibly, because clairaudience is when we hear, but we hear internally, right?
Correct.
So you're just hearing things.
Well,
no, not that you're just hearing things, but you're
in
hearing.
other words, you wouldn't hear what I heard.
I have once.
No, but I'm saying, like, if it's my experience, you're like, hey, did you hear that? You're like, no, I didn't. And I'm like, oh, I heard it. That's what you're saying. Or two people can't have if I'm the one with that skill, we'll call it a skill, a heightened sense.
Right.
Let's say you don't have that heightened sense. Well, I heard someone just call my name, and you're like, I didn't hear anything. I heard the trees rustling. That's all I heard.
Exactly. So, yeah, because you're open to receiving that information in that way. Yes. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have heard my name audibly one time, and so I've always been a spiritual person, exploring spirituality and religion and near-death experiences. I've worked with mediums and psychics, even as a younger child, like throughout, and it's kind of waxed and waned, I guess I would say. Learned about angels and all kinds of stuff, and then it goes through periods of time where you're high on it, and then you're not. Well, I was a competitive bodybuilder, and
yeah, I see your arms. Nice, very nice.
Thank you.
I'm coveting now.
So I was obsessed with that for a period of my life, and I became so obsessed to my detriment. And I remember this one time I woke up, I was at home. I was by myself, and I heard my name being called, and I just sat upright, and then I was like, did someone just call me? And then I didn't hear it again, and I don't even exactly remember what it sounded like, if it was male or female, and that, I guess that really wasn't relevant. But what I made of that was that I was reminded that we are so much more than this physical body, and that before we are physical, we are a spiritual being. And it kind of brought me back to, hey, stop obsessing about just your physicality, because there's a lot more. And I know that. And yeah, that was a good reminder at that time. So I've only had one experience like that, I was not scared at that moment. But yeah, let's share that with you.
Well, I like that you expressed it that way. It kind of brought you back. It's like what this how they say it in the movie industry, back to one. It's like bring it back to the origin yourself. You're not, because we are so conditioned to look at ourselves. You are a biological body. You are this, and we're taught everything to feed the biological body, but no one teaches us the fundamentals of metaphysical, of crystals, of healing. The earth provides.
Right.
We're not ever taught that. That becomes witchery. That becomes sorcery, and it's not. And that reminded me of me when I was in 2016, 2017, even towards the end of 2018. I was in that process of internally, I was existing internally, and all I cared about was knowledge of an internal knowledge. And I was now communicating with the entity we call God, but I never used the word God, because God is a human term. It's a human word. It's a human label.
Right.
I refuse to label such a magnificent energy, creative energy. So I call it the source, the creator.
Right.
And I am a fragment of that spark creation when it says let there be light. Meaning I want to experience all and everything through you, through me, through everybody. And
Yes.
and this is why I always I don't play in the game of hate. I hate you. It's like, well, we are one and the same.
Yes.
We are just a different fragment of we are different experience, how should I say, experience pods for the creator.
Right.
I am experiencing this creation, this body, this intelligence, this personality, because it's different than yours.
Yes.
I take in love differently. You feel it a little different. It's tweaked. Yours could be magical, full. Mine could be, it was all right.
Right. Yes.
So that means, that tells me I'm going off. I'm on a tangent now.
No. I'm tracking.
So that means that the creator, because it wants its own experiences through us, that means it is evolving.
Yes.
Every time we go home,
Yes.
go back home, and then it uploads us, it's like, okay. It's more expansion.
Yes.
So that's why I take it very serious when I did this, when I created all this, finding you, people with your skill set, your intuitiveness. It's important because I want to collect as much as I can.
Right.
For the creator, make it easy for him and make it fun.
Yes.
Make it fun along the way. I want to make this part of my life has to be fun.
Yes.
And this is fun for me. Writing books is fun. And I know you want to write your book.
Yes.
And
or speak my book.
or speak your book. Yes.
Excuse me.
Finding yourself and knowing yourself as a spiritual being, I think is one of the biggest, greatest gift a person can give themselves.
Yes. I agree. And so we are always, just like our source or our creator, we're always we should strive to always constantly be evolving, expanding, learning, growing. And that's something that yoga teaches us, that we are always a student. And that's what namaste translates to is I see you, you see me.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Whereas, just because I'm a teacher, doesn't mean that I can't learn from my students. And that's what I always say, is that I always have something to learn. I'm always a student, and because it's different the way that you may do something, I want to understand why it's different. Why do you do it that way? Because maybe there's something that I can learn from it, right?
Right.
And then just kind of take that and apply it to the rest of your life, and now we're both getting off on tangents, but I like how you say that you do this and you do it for fun, because I'm a true believer that, and I'm learning this through another woman that I'm listening to right now, that finding our joy is where following that joy, like what naturally inspires us to feel passionate, to feel excited about waking up in the morning, and that you actually want to do. So, we're told from a young age, go to school, get a good education, get a job, and now my daughter is 17 and she's going on that path and, talking about college and going to college, and I'm extremely proud of her and excited. Right. But at the same time, like, I just feel like you don't have to go in such a linear way. And I did that. I did go to college and I did graduate.
Yeah,
but
linear.
I still made my way through the things that I loved. And I'm now still doing them. So wherever your passion takes you, I feel like that's what you should follow. And so I'm happy that your passion takes you here, because now we're sitting here and we're both talking about things we love.
Wow, I love it. Yes, and education and going linear. Oh my God, if I could have just zigzagged through all of that. I mean, what was the point of having a high GPA, getting a scholarship, if you can't find a job afterwards? Right. Go through all those sleepless nights writing your term paper, it's like, for what? Well,
you built a lot of healthy practices, a lot of habits, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I know, my daughter's like, why do I have to do this math? I'm never going to use it anyways. You have to count your money.
Yeah, math is my nemesis. Unless it's money math.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Yeah, count your money.
I can do money math really quick in my head. In other words, you owe me is a sum of all of the math I need to know.
So, just getting back to talking about some of the experiences and how our body is a tool to register what we might be experiencing, good or bad. After you had the astral travel, and that it was dangerous, what did you mean by that?
Okay. So the dangerous part was I was ending up in situations where I could have been trapped. For example, I had this one astral body where all of a sudden I'm awake, I'm floating in space, there's a huge giant ship and its doors are opening. You can hear the steel just opening.
Yes.
And I'm just floating in space, and I'm just kind of like, okay. In my head, I'm dreaming, Yeah. That's what you're doing. And then it opens and I float in. I could see it's bright. I'm on the top floor. So that means it's a bottom layer. And I see windows are round. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm still floating. So I'm floating to the window and I look out the window and I see Earth. But Earth is huge. It's not like some pictures we see and you see Earth and then it goes into a ball. No, Earth just went on forever.
Huh.
Like, where is the curve?
Right.
That was my thought. And then I heard some like squeaking wheels squeaking.
Oh my
and then I floated over to the rail and I looked down. I'm still floating. And then I see old man wearing overalls. I can't remember. I think there were tan overalls, and he was pulling it. There was a coffin. It was open, and there was a Caucasian older man, white hair, tie, black suit, white shirt, and the man looked up and he goes, "Oh, won't you stay with us? Won't you stay?"
Oh my gosh!
And when he said that,
you did not have a good feeling.
No, that's when that sharp feeling came in, and I took a deep breath, and I just thrusted myself out, like away from the rail, and that's when I heard those doors closing, and those doors were closing. The steel doors were closing, and I'm going, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
I got to get out. I got to get out. And then, so imagine this happening.
Oh my gosh.
And just as it's like right here, my body, I turn it around and I flip over and I come out and I hear the boom.
It got you by the heels almost.
The tonnage of that. And then when I woke up like breathing, and I was chronicling a lot of my journey, and then I talked to my psychic friend, and she was worried for me. She goes, okay, this is not the first time you've told me something like this, and she goes, I'm looking at you through my mind's eye, and I can see you where you were. She goes, you were astral traveling.
Right.
She goes, but you have to understand something. If you get trapped in any of your astral travels, your family members are going to find you in your bed, dead, thinking, oh, poor thing, she died of cardiac arrest in her sleep.
Wow.
And she goes, I'm going to prepare.
Natural causes, right?
Mm-hmm, correct. She goes, the worst thing is, yeah, they're taking care of your body's dead, they're burying you, boom. So now, guess where you are? You're trapped in the last place you astral traveled. So you're trapped wherever it is that you are, and now you're at the mercy of whatever entity or parasite has you there. And she goes, it's very dangerous, and I am going to prepare a cleansing for you. And then I want you to go see my friend Patricia, who does quantum healing. And then I explained to her, and as she did her thing, she goes, oh yeah, you're astral traveling, and I'm telling the guides are very worried for you. And she goes, you can get trapped, and she said the same thing. And she goes, oh, but you do have psychic abilities. And I go, well, I don't have psychic abilities. She goes, no, you will have psychic abilities. But she goes, the guides don't want me to shut them down for you. You will need them later. I go, need them?
Okay.
What do you mean need them later? So that was back in, before, this is before COVID. Definitely before COVID.
Wow. So what do you have any insight as to what makes a person more susceptible to astral travel, or why you astral travel, where you decide to go, who was on that ship, what the heck was going on? Any of those give us some answers here.
Oh my God, if I had the answers, it'd be in a book.
Yes,
for sure.
Or does it sorry to interrupt you, does it make you feel, how does it make you feel to talk about it now?
It feels great. You know why?
What?
Because you live with it in your head.
Nobody
wants to listen to your crazy stories.
I do.
Well, that's why you're my person. So crazy story. They're like, oh, Nonny, here we go again. And the earth is flat, right? And it's like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I did see it.
Well, if there's so many shared experiences from people, that they're all experiencing the same crazy story, and they don't know each other, then that's a shared. It's not a story. It's actually happening to a lot of independent people.
Yeah, it's beyond the story.
Yeah, it's beyond the story.
Yeah. I think astral travel, I can't control it. I would like to. I would have to be as disciplined as that man Darius to control it. But he says you're gonna have to not be afraid of dying. You might die in the process. I'm like, oh, well, okay, but you can't be afraid of it. And I'm like, okay.
Well, it's not just dying. We're all gonna die. We all have a shelf life, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to force. But I don't want to go into like.
You're talking about your soul, or your cord.
Yeah.
Being taken away from your physical body and stuck somewhere for an eternity, or for how long? I mean, how does your creator not call you back from that? I mean, I know we don't have answers. It's all speculation, but
you know what? It's a good question, and the word is parasites.
Okay.
There's a lot of energetic parasites that we are surrounded by. And we don't know. We can't see them because if we could, we'd all be in hysteria.
Yeah.
But yes, energetic parasites are there waiting for you. It's like a little it's like they're selling tickets to this buffet. And if you're willing to give up your energy,
Yes.
then that's why I don't go to concerts.
Yes.
I go to venues, but a mature audience,
Right.
someone who's like, I'm just gonna sit here and watch the show and enjoy the music and enjoy the artist.
Uh-huh.
You can't get too many parasites in that situation. But a concert, like, what was it, that guy Trevor, that rapper guy?
Oh, oh gosh.
Yeah,
I listen to him. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Travis.
Travis
Scott.
Travis Trevor.
I'm actually a huge Travis Scott fan, but I would never go to a concert because I'm not a 13-year-old boy,
well-
which is the demographic. But I love that music,
Yeah.
and it's kind of. I feel like he's an interesting artist. But go ahead. There was
Correct.
a tragedy. There was lots
Parasites, because that's all there is there.
Okay.
If you want to meet a vampire, you go there. You go to those kind of venues.
Yeah.
When I learned that, I'm like, oh, not today.
I feel like I've seen one or two of them walking around.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're not just fantasy.
And you're just looking at them, and their eyes are just super black, and their skin is just so white, and they're just like,
no.
And you're just like, oh my God, don't even look at me right now.
No.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, thank you.
No.
Yes. We're funny.
No.
Yes.
No vampires, no parasites.
Yes.
But that's what awaits for you out in the realms. When you're horrible to someone, when you feel like, I don't know what comes over me, why I'm so mean to people. Well, you've just been abducted by a parasite. They've been leeching on you, and then you act like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
That's why they say you must walk in the light. Well,
yes,
because parasites can't exist in the light. So.
And just to clarify, you're not excusing somebody's bad behavior and saying that it was caused by that it was caused by a parasite.
Correct. You're open to it. It's like it's almost like you're inviting. You are being that negative. Therefore, your friends will be parasites, and then they're gonna leech off of you, and then it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. Where it just started with you and your bad behavior,
yes,
now becomes something. Now you become like
a magnet,
the magnet to them, and they're now feeding off of you,
right?
And then that's when the worst of you comes out. Like those characters like Dahmer and Casey, those serial killers. It's because at some.
Oh, sorry.
No. No.
No. No.
No.
Sorry.
No, but yeah, because at some moment, it's like you're entertaining certain thoughts, correct?
Yes.
It's like that's me. That's my energy. So now that I'm full of those, I'm like, oh, now I'm watching it. Now I'm like consumed with it. As soon as my frequency level goes to a certain point, guess what? That's the invitation.
Yes.
You've just invited something very dark to consume you. Because now you're sharing the same thoughts.
You're on the same
wavelength now.
Yes. And that's what I was alluding to earlier and remind me what I said. But when you're protecting your energy, you asked me a question about it. It's not so much as what you are inviting in as opposed as to what you are excluding out. So it's not that I am consciously saying, oh yes, I want to attract these parasites. It's your thought. It's being observant of your thought process and where it's taking you, making sure it's not going into a negative place, because that place is you're more vulnerable to attracting that negativity back in. And so I was also going through the whole bodybuilding thing while I discovered yoga, and I was struggling with an eating disorder. And I began to overcome that on my mat, because I would, sit and meditate or do the yoga. You don't even know you're meditating. You're just going through the process.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't been observing my thoughts up until this point, until one day, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm just telling myself like, oh, I call it the F word,
Mm-hmm.
you're fat, you're this, you're that, you didn't work out hard enough, saying all these negative thinking, right?
Oh, that's my morning chant.
No, don't do that. And then one day I was like, shut up.
Wow.
Shut up. Like, no, you're not that, and so I was finally observant of my own thoughts, and then I could course correct, right? And so it's important to be able to be awake, be awake and conscious in your own thoughts. And so in that way, you're observing where your train of thought is going. And if you can do that, then you can be conscious and control where your mind is taking you. And I think in bringing it back to sleep and sleep paralysis and astral travel, during those times, we're functioning on a different kind of consciousness where we're more susceptible to allow us to escape our normal confines, right? And but it wasn't until you went so far as to almost get trapped, and then you realized, oh crap, I got to get out of here. So, just being aware is important.
I'm so glad I'm not in that space anymore. Now I just dream normal things, but I am still living parallel existences. I'm definitely visiting. I'm punching a hole through that. I think it's different because I think astral traveling is up, because that's how I'm sensing it. And when you venture out into parallels, I'm thinking it's this way. So there's like directions, that's how because when I know I'm in a different dream, I feel like I've gone this way.
Like, kind of like, oh gosh, of course, whenever I want to remember a specific name, it just totally escapes me.
It's the heat.
It's kind of pure potentiality, right?
Oh, wow, that's a good word.
Well, I didn't coin it. It's the person who I can't remember right now. Oh my gosh. No. Okay. So pure potentiality. So the existence of all things exist at the same time. All possibilities.
Omnipresent,
Yeah. It's he is from India. And he has
it's not Ida Krishna, is it?
No, he has a place in Oceanside that you can go visit.
Oh,
my gosh.
Excuse me, not Ida Krishna. Somebody else.
It'll come to me, and then I'll be embarrassed that I can't remember.
Fine. I can't remember.
So, but he has a quote that I like that I will share for you the next time that we talk, because cool. I'm going to butcher it if I do it right now. Oh, that was a lot, Nonny.
I know.
That was good. We talked about a lot of really interesting topics.
Yeah, that was great. That's just the first show.
I know. I can't wait. Definitely make sure that you guys stay tuned and check out what we have to come. And then please check out our website, subscribe the video, like the video, subscribe to our page, and check out Nonny's website.
Yes, ghostlytaleshows.com.
And on there, you can find links to my page, to my YouTube, which is Divine Shine Healing Mediumship and Tarot. That's a lot. That's a mouthful, I know.
It's a mouthful.
That's where you can find my YouTube. And then also you can check out my website at divineshinehealing.com. It is in construction right now.
It's under construction. So, I'll take care of that.
Okay.
If you let me.
Yes, I will. Thank you. And just be on the lookout, because we have some great things planned and upcoming. I have some upcoming courses. If you're interested in a personal reading or a course in how to increase your psychic abilities, be aware of that, because it's coming soon.
What about your Reiki sessions?
Oh, yes. Reiki sessions, tarot cards, crystals, aura personality readings. Yes. All that will be listed on my YouTube for now, and then on my website coming soon.
Great. And if you have any stories to share with us.
Yes.
Chat. I guess in the chat.
Yeah, in the comments.
The comment section.
Yeah,
Gosh.
reply to us,
Yes.
or just get in contact with us if you don't want to share it in the comments, or it's too much to explain. We want to hear your stories. We want to have you, maybe on the show, or maybe part of our program in some way. We want to make this a really community conversation, so that we all know that we're not going through this alone.
If you have a story you want to share with us, we'd love to have you. It's got to be metaphysical, paranormal in nature.
We want to hear from you, and we look forward to bringing you new and exciting information coming soon.
Lots of information. The paranormal is huge. Metaphysical is huge. So the conversation will never end.
This is true.
Never
it goes
end.
on for an eternity.
Yes, and and in our collaboration, there are books, magazines that are coming your way. And if you go into Amazon.com under Nonny Mendoza, you can also find my books, Awaken the Dreamer, the Ghostly Tales series, 1 through 5. There you go. Just, support an independent author.
Yes.
And also support the channel by liking and subscribing. Thank you.
Thank you.